Welcome back to Oakhill, folks. It's a slightly random start on today's video. I just want to try and put some more lights around the yard just to make it easier to see what I'm doing. Probably should have done this during winter rather than as we move into spring and the mornings start to lighten up, but I'm just going to skip forward to the morning so I can actually see what I'm doing. I would quite like to have put one above the entrance to those sheds, but obviously with the light switch that's not going to work, so we'll stick it here and we'll stick one here as well. And we'll just see how that does. I quite like this light pack because they're automatic, so they switch off automatically, because as you can see I have a habit of leaving the lights on. Okay, let's get some cows sold. So we're now out of straw. I think I've said that before because it's been a little while since we ran out. So we're producing slurry. So a nice little profit there. I think it was 25 to 30,000 pounds. We'll just run back up to the animal market to get the extra 15 that we need. I think we're about 4 days away from the expansion that we started actually kicking in and starting to make us some money. And the cow shed's getting pretty full. We're up to 470 cows, which is not bad. Next job is to run some manure over to the BGA. Actually making these regular trips to the BGA is keeping a nice little bit of income ticking in, which is kind of what we had planned. Just finishing off redeeming a couple of contracts there, and then we need to load up the spelt seed instead of the canola that we had in. You're just seeing a fine example of how not to handle a pallet. So pro. Anyway, we'll ignore that. And I was doing really well with the pallets today, wasn't I? Anyway, let's get some seeds into the bad stack. I'm really thinking that we might need to get some more land for planting some crops for straw this year. We've got this field and we've got the field up by the entrance to the farm, so it's not a huge amount of land compared to what we had last year, and we haven't had enough straw. And yet, yes, I know this is quite a big setup for this field, but at least it will actually pull the cedar up the hill. And we have bigger fields than this. So I have the Maxim over running a sunflower seeding contract, but we've actually run out of sunflower seeds, and I don't really want to have to buy another pallet. I don't think it's worth it, so we might just have to cancel that contract. It's really nice to be getting this field seeded. Obviously we'd planned to do it before winter hits. I'm just hoping that it's ready for harvest in time and we don't end up with a kind of autumn harvest and struggling with getting the crops dry. So we now need to go and grab the Maxim back over because it's got our planter. We're just going to cancel this contract. Slightly frustrating, but it's just, as I said, it's just not worth buying the extra pallet of seeds. So, We'll empty out the fertilizer and the we haven't got any seed actually in the planter, so we'll just stick in the sugar beet seeds. We've got field 70 to plant with beets, which is going to give us a lot of sugar beet, which is probably good because we have a lot of cows to feed now. Checking that we were still in the that we were actually into the planting window. I think I'm going to need to put this on the Magnum. The Maxim is struggling with the hills and it's kind of sliding sideways as well. You can pick that up in the video. Yeah, let's grab the Magnum. The random text that just popped up, my sound volume button on my laptop is the F8 key, which also opens up some of the random diagnostic stuff in the game if I forget to hit the function key when I press it to change the volume. You probably see that quite often in videos if I'm playing. I don't always play with the sound on, but if I do and I want to change the volume, I quite often hit F8 without holding function down. You get that random stream of matrix-like text. This is much better. It's pulling up the hill better and it's not sliding quite so much. I'm hoping our little harvester will cope with this hill. Alright, that's the beets in the ground. The pile that we have left is not going to last us until harvest time. But we're going to expand the farm again. As I said, I'm worried that we don't have enough land planted with crops that are going to give us straw. So we're actually going to go and buy field 5 and 14. We need to borrow more money for that as well. And they're a little way from the farm. Not too far, just a little drive. So they are £103,000. So we've had to borrow a bit more money. I've just run a cultivating contract on field 14, where I spotted this little pair of fields, which I thought were a really good size for what we need on the farm. Hadn't spotted that the field was already fully fertilised. It just needs some lime, so we'll get that sorted. We also need to cultivate in this withered crop. So again, I'll run that on course plate while we sort out some lime. Not going to be much fun running the lime spreader on 1246. We're going to need some sort of dust mask, but hey. They're not huge fields, but they're a nice size. It was really tempting actually to plough them together, and I may do that at the end of the year. Not sure that the path through the fields is needed for access to the other fields, so we also needed more lime. That little bit I had left from the first pallet wasn't enough. It was a bit of a wasted journey. But this will finish off the field. There we go. So I'm just selling the last of the slurry that we had so that I can fill the tanker up with digestate. and then we can spread some digestate onto the field for a bit of fertilising. Thankfully, Courseplay shouted me that we were almost out of fuel, so we're just nipping into the neighbour's farm to buy some diesel off him. Actually, rather than sticking Courseplay back on, I'll just run this last bit of the field myself. This cultivator that we brought a while ago is actually a really nice bit of kit. Good size for the fields that we have and the tractors that we've got to run it. Tidy up those bits that Courseplay missed. And then we'll get the slurry tank again. We've got a little bit of slurry in here, and then we'll swap to digestate. Once that's empty, I'll try and get Courseplay set up to refill from the tanker. While that works, we will get some more spelt planted. We're going to have a big pile of spelt this year. So let's try and set up a course to load up the slurry spreader from the tanker. And then save that and reload the slurry spreading course, and then append the loading course to it and see if that works. It seems like it hasn't worked. It's got hung up thinking it's stuck in traffic. Probably need a straighter run in along the side of the tanker. I'll just fill it up and then stick Courseplay back on. So before we tackle field 5, we need to buy another pallet of spelt seeds. And that IBC is still in the car park. Hopefully this will give us enough straw. If not, we may stick the straw from contracts mods on. Anyway, thanks for watching, folks. Leave me a comment, hit the like button, and I will catch you next time.